Tell us your name and what you do.
So my name is Galen Hair, and I'm a property casualty attorney, which just means that I represent policyholders when they have insurance claims happen to their house or their business.
How long have you been an attorney?
Oh, geez. I guess I first started practicing in 2009, and, ever since have been doing this.
How many hurricanes have you worked?
I think we're up to 6 hurricanes now. We didn't always work hurricanes. We originally started doing what, like in the industry, they call day claims, which is just the random stuff that just happens, like a pipe burst, a fire. But I think we're at about 6 hurricanes now.
So where did you go to law school?
Yeah, so I went to Tulane in New Orleans, which is still where our biggest office is based out of there. And that's kind of where I came up, and then slowly we started expanding.
Where all are you guys located now?
We have offices along the entire Gulf, so Texas all the way to Florida, including Mississippi, Alabama. We have offices in Georgia, Indiana, D.C. We just opened an office in Chicago as well.
Are there any states that you don't work in?
Yeah, I mean, we're not in Alaska or anything like that,
Oh,
but
why
but yeah, it's just a little cold for me, I think. But no, we have attorneys licensed in a ton of states. I personally am only licensed in Florida, Louisiana, Massachusetts, and New York.
Okay. Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Arlington, Texas, right outside Dallas, and I basically stayed there my whole life until I left for college.
What made you want to go to New Orleans for school?
Yeah, so New Orleans, I didn't really go for school. I was in school and was kind of trying to figure out what to do, and Hurricane Katrina hit. So I moved down and gutted houses and volunteered in the Ninth Ward, and it was only then that I really decided I was going to go to law school. So I don't know. I wonder if I would have been a lawyer if Hurricane Katrina hadn't hit, but I didn't really choose New Orleans as much as that's where Hurricane Katrina chose.
Okay. Do you like what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I love what we do. So I interact with lawyers that do all sorts of things, right? There's obviously lawyers that defend insurance companies. I did that for the first couple of years of my career, and I really hated it. There are lawyers that do personal injury, car wrecks, divorces, all sorts of different things. But what I love about what we do is I feel like we get to help people in a really meaningful way, and these are not people that have anything to do with what happened to them. You can blame someone in almost any situation, right? That car accident, well, maybe he's faking that injury, or maybe he caused that accident. You don't usually cause a hurricane or a tornado. It's a difficult thing for you to make happen, right? So I just love because our people are usually blameless. They didn't ask for this, and it's completely upended their life. And by the time we get involved, the insurance company is usually really taking advantage of them. So we have that opportunity to really step in and be a positive influence in their life. And let's face it, in an industry where lawyers are not usually seen as positive.
What is the smallest claim that you've ever represented someone on?
Oh, probably one of the earlier ones we took, but we still get them. It was a pipe burst. I still remember it. It was a trailer. And the bid was something crazy, $780, but the deductible was only $100, right? So all they had to do was pay this lady $680. She probably would have taken $300 or $400, but she did not have the money to pay a plumber. Did not at all. She lived without water until we got her claim resolved.
Oh my gosh.
And that's probably still the smallest we've taken, but we'll get those every once in a while. And in some states like Louisiana and Florida for the Ian claims, we can still afford to take those claims because the attorney fees are separate, and we can get the insurance company to pay those. So we don't have to worry about, am I going to leave this poor lady with not enough money to fix her plumbing? And because of that lets us take smaller claims than we could normally take.
So tell me, what is the biggest claim you've ever taken?
The biggest claim we've ever taken, we have an estimate that's at 9 figures. Who knows what it'll actually be? But one of the biggest claims we've ever closed, we just closed it out, and we closed it at $34 million.
Wow.
So, but that was a unique claim.
That's a big range.
It's a pretty big range. It's kind of exhausting because you don't want to dedicate different resources to different claims, right? Whether it's a tiny claim, you want to work it the same as a really, really big claim. But then some of the big claims are more complicated. We had to hire maybe 16 or 17 experts for that really, really large claim because they just had things that frankly I didn't know existed before we had that claim, components to the building. And so it's really cool because whether it's a big claim or a small claim, you're always learning something new. You know, there was just like roofing materials that I frankly, and I know a lot about roofs, didn't even know existed on this one particular thing. And they brought in people from all over the world to
Who had
compile this
expertise.
building. So we had to go find those same people, right?
What is the most meaningful claim that you've ever worked?
Oh, I actually still remember her very vividly. And I guess I can tell you her name because it's public record. Her last name is Menendez. And she had a house it was like South Louisiana. There had been a little windstorm. It hadn't been a massive windstorm, but the winds had been pretty high. And her house was lifted, so it was up on piers, just like you see all over the Gulf, anywhere where the ground is pretty soft. And her house was leaning a little bit after the windstorm. Like, you could see it. Like, you could stand on the street, and you could kind of see that the house was tilted. It wasn't falling. It wasn't any of that. She had Southern Fidelity as her insurance company. They're gone now because the best things happen to the worst people. And I remember taking this claim and thinking this should be really easy. You can look at the house and you can see it's leaning. And they paid her zero. They denied our claim. So we got an engineer out there, and the engineer wrote a letter and said, we are really, really worried that this house will fall. And right in the middle of COVID, when no one wants to interact with anyone else and she has nowhere to go, her house collapses. And we were able to get her what went from a tiny little claim, maybe like $7,000 or $8,000 to straighten this house out. We were able to get her a brand new house.
Oh, that's awesome. If people here in Southwest Florida need assistance on their claim, how can they reach you?
So the easiest way is probably to call. We answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's 844-CLAIM-84. And then also our website, www.insuranceclaimhq.com. You can like chat with us on there, or you can fill out a form and we'll give you a shout like right away. And, you know, we'll review your claim, figure out what's going on, and get you the help you need if we can get it for you.